Welcome back everybody, my name's Nick930 and E3 2018 is finally over, and we have a bunch of awesome new games on the horizon now, in addition to the games we already knew were coming. And today I wanted to make a short list of the games I'm most excited to play from E3 2018. These games are in no real particular order, and I only chose games that we were actually given gameplay for, as opposed to just CGI trailers or simple announcements. So starting off this list is Sony's newest and most impressive title shown at their press conference, Ghost of Toshima. Ghost of Toshima is made by Sucker Punch, the same guys responsible for the Infamous series, and it looks to be a significant change of style and pace. Ghost of Toshima focuses more on being like a classic samurai film, with quick swordplay, beautiful scenery and locales, and some stealth gameplay mechanics. The graphics look incredible, and I like the more realistic style of gameplay when compared to the several other samurai-based video games that were recently revealed. Speaking of which, there's another samurai-looking game that was revealed at E3, but this one was at Microsoft's press conference. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is an action-adventure game made by From Software, the same studio behind the brutally difficult Dark Souls and Bloodborne series. The game looks to be more fast-paced with a bit more verticality than what the studio has done before, and there's even a bit of Tenchu mixed in with this cool grappling move. This studio has mostly delivered excellent games over the past 10 years, so it'll be great to see what this game plays like. Insomniac, the group behind Ratchet & Clank and Sunset Overdrive, showed off more of their new Spider-Man video game, this time showcasing the classic Spider-Man villains and some impressive set action pieces on a prison island. The graphics look clean and the game appears to be polished from what we've seen so far, and based on the gameplay footage shown offstage, the open world looks to be dense and filled with things to do and explore. It'll be nice to have a game like this to add variety to the gaming industry, considering we get so many dark, brooding, apocalyptic zombie shooters most of the time. Which brings me to the next few entries on my list, which, yes, do have zombies. Resident Evil 2 was a huge surprise to me, as I've been waiting to hear more about the Resident Evil 2 remake that they announced years ago. But not only that, they also gave us a concrete January release date and showed actual gameplay footage, with a totally reworked camera system and some fantastic visual designs. I really enjoyed the remake of the original Resident Evil game, and I'm glad to see that they're finally continuing to remaster these classics, as they are the games that really kickstarted the survival horror genre in video gaming. Another big zombie game that was announced was Dying Light 2. The original game initially looked like a copy and paste of Dead Island, but I was surprised to find that Dying Light was significantly better in every way. And on top of that, the developers have done an excellent job in supporting this game several years after it released. I'm looking forward to parkouring around their newest entry to the series, and I hope they can deliver on their promises of having a world that truly changes with your player choices. Metro Exodus didn't receive a lot of talk during or after E3, and I think that's a real shame because the gameplay trailer that they showed off at Microsoft's press conference was really impressive. Metro has always had some of the absolute best graphical designs in all of gaming, and this game looks to be no different. There's a clear, heavy emphasis on the level of detail with everything in the game, from the dirt forming on the mask to the tiniest details on each weapon. The ability to swap your weapon attachments similar to Crysis looks like it could really help to mix up the gameplay, and making the game more open-ended is exactly what I feel the original two games needed to help them stand out against other games in the genre. Metro Exodus, if it delivers what it promises, might end up being the very best entry in the entire Metro franchise. Rage 2 had an impressive demonstration at Bethesda's E3 conference, and it's great to see because the original Rage was a seriously underrated gem of a game. Sure, it had its faults, and the story fell flat towards the end because of funding issues, but the gunplay was tight, the visuals looked great at the time, and the driving mechanics were fun. Rage 2 looks to be expanding on all of these things that worked in the original game, and if done correctly, could end up rivaling games like Fallout. Speaking of which, Fallout 76 is also a huge game that I'm really excited to play. I am a little concerned though the more I hear about it. It has been confirmed that Fallout 76 is a multiplayer-focused game that will not necessarily have a heavy narrative like past titles, but instead be focused on completing various small missions to help rank up your character. The endgame content appears to currently only revolve around looking for nuclear launch codes to launch a nuke somewhere on the map, and then travel to that nuclear fallout and kill legendary enemies, which sounds cool, but I certainly hope there's more content planned to ensure that this game lasts a long time. Also, since this game will be heavily based on the multiplayer aspect, I hope Bethesda invests in some quality anti-cheat systems, especially on the PC platform. Another sequel that I'm a bit concerned about is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This game was kind of a bittersweet surprise. I really appreciated when Ubisoft took a break after Syndicate, despite that game actually being pretty decent, and taking their time with Assassin's Creed Origins to make something huge and truly unique. Origins was a great game, with a new emphasis on RPG gameplay and beautifully realized depiction of ancient Egypt, But I was under the impression that Ubisoft would take another year-long break from this franchise, and instead they announced a brand new Assassin's Creed game that looks just as big and ambitious as Origins. From the gameplay they've shown, everything but the setting appears exactly the same. The controls, the menus, the visuals are all practically identical to Assassin's Creed Origins. Only now, it takes place in ancient Greece, even further back in time than Origins. It's an odd choice and a bit concerning as it might end up hurting with franchise fatigue, but I'm definitely up for exploring ancient Greece and I look forward to trying it out anyway. And finally, I wanted to talk about Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 3 was an insanely well-made game. It featured a huge open-world racing sandbox with beautiful visuals, tight gameplay, and a fun sense of exploration. Forza Horizon 4 aims to improve on all of the above, with an even heavier emphasis on online connectivity. Forza Horizon 4 will supposedly be seamlessly connected, and other racers on the road will actually be other players actively racing, and not just drivatars like in Horizon 3. The location looks very interesting too, with a sort of northern European countryside, and the potential for 4 seasons that can greatly affect the gameplay, from increasing the likelihood of rain to freezing over lakes to create new paths. I haven't actually finished Horizon 3 because it's so crazy big, but I did enjoy every minute of it, and I can't wait to try out this new entry. And those are the top 10 games I'm most excited to play from E3 2018. Now, which games are you guys most excited to play? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos posted every week.